Captain? Captain, can you hear me? I repeat, Captain, can you hear my voice? Excellent. Delayed but positive response to auditory stimulation. Please, keep your eyes closed for now, and do not move. I am assessing the extent of your injuries. You were unresponsive for several minutes after your fall, Captain. I felt deeply concerned for your physical condition. What? What do you mean? Who am I? I am Agent M23 of the Android Planetary Excursion Unit. Would you like to hear my serial number, or further manufacturing specifications? No? All right. Captain, what is the most recent memory you can recall? I see. Based on your description of events, that would be the days just prior to our meeting. Likely close to your assignment as the human liaison to my unit. It seems you have no memories of our mission. Or... It is unimportant. It's best not to overwhelm those dealing with injury-related memory loss. I've completed my assessment of your physical condition. You appear to have sustained significant bruising along your left shoulder and a possible fracture in your right wrist. Aside from the blow to the head and these injuries, you are largely unharmed. In a few moments, I will begin concussion assessment protocol. But first, you may open your eyes now. Hello to you too, Captain. Where are we? Our current location is a planet known by the ID number 4768388 within the Galatea Quadrant. It's not yet been assigned a formal name, though many soldiers refer to it as Hell's Bastion for its deep red sunsets. We are here as part of an exploration unit for data collection regarding the planet's natural resources. We've been stationed here for the prior 6 months in order to complete a thorough sweep of the terrain. Now that would be the cause of your fall, Captain. The planet is currently undergoing significant seismic activity. I have been unable to contact the other units due to damage sustained to my communications broadcast module. What? Oh, no, it does not hurt. I have temporarily shut off my tactile input sensors. Your concern is appreciated but unnecessary. How many others are there? There are a total of 20 members of the Android Planetary Excursion Unit. Not including yourself, Captain, for obvious reasons. While I understand you have many questions which remain, our current location is not secure. It would be advisable to move quickly to a different area. Where should we go? Oh dear. Forgive me for this, Captain, but I believe it is necessary. Could you repeat something for me? Unit M23, Command Override Protocol invoked. Number 5. We've activated a set of protocols in my design for situations in which you're unable to proceed as commanding officer. While I understand that this is not the case, in order to ensure safety, I believe it necessary. Once we're no longer in imminent danger and your memories have stabilized, I will happily accept responsibility for my actions. Laughter is not an anticipated response. Oh. Yes, I am still calling you that. Anything otherwise would be inappropriate. Never mind. We do not have time for this. We must move. Your hand, please. I will assist you. It appears the extent of your bruising is more significant than I first detected. Please, lean on me in order to move more freely. We are at an inconvenient but not insurmountable distance from our current base of operation. I have pinged our location to the others. However, I am unable to detect a response at this time. This way. We'll move up the embankment. We may converse while we walk, Captain. Are we friends? Your line of inquiry is unusual, though perhaps not by human standards. Humans define friendship as a relationship of mutual affection between people. It is a stronger form of interpersonal bond than an acquaintance or an association, such as a classmate, neighbor, coworker, or colleague. You would like to know how I see you? Oh, this is said in the colloquial seeing as emotional interpretation, rather than visual reception, correct? Forgive the question. However, due to the level of processing required to discern the easiest path through our terrain, the rest of my operations are running at lower capacity. The current listing for our interpersonal status in my memory bank is Commanding Officer and Subordinate. I have made several notes regarding this, if you would like me to read them. While I appreciate that you would not pry into my personal thoughts, I am not intentionally withholding them. Yes, you have previously remarked on my bluntness, as you put it. No, it is not a standard trait of all androids. This, I believe, is what you have often called my sunny personality. I assume this is a joke. All right, then. I will proceed with the notes. Note 1. Captain's judgment appears impaired in regard to decision-making having to do with my physical well-being. End of Note 1. Note 2. There have now been 5 reported instances of the captain insisting that I sample human-designated rations. This is in spite of my reminders that food is not a necessary power source, but rather a supplemental one for myself. Additional note. The rations are poor in flavor, but contain high amounts of nutrients. Captain seemingly enjoys rations which contain preserved fruits the most. In accordance with such, I have added higher quantities of these in my supplies request for next month. End Note 2. Note 3. The captain has begun insisting that we take breaks during the evening data debriefing in order to watch the sunset. I am unclear as to why this ritual is important. However, the captain nevertheless insists. It is always very red. We do not speak much while viewing it, but the captain's morale seems boosted after ending the viewing. End of Note 3. Note 4. Captain appears concerned. Reaction time slowed by 15%, indicating preoccupation of the mind. Questions regarding said behavior yielded only reassurance responses, but no specific causation. Further inquiries required. End Note 4. Yes. Your behavior was altered in the days prior to today. You seemed apprehensive and displayed signs of disturbed sleep. There is no need to apologize. It is no longer a pressing matter, not in comparison to our current situation. What am I going to do when I get back to the main station? Are you referring to the time after our stationing here has run its course? I see. I have given little thought to the time post our current deployment, as I have no way of knowing my next assignment. It is likely that I will require significant maintenance and several updates before I am back in the field, but that should take a relatively short period of time. The future is not my concern. Rather, I am more accustomed to focusing on the present. Though the same cannot be said for you. You frequently engage in theorizing about your current circumstances, and those of the future. It is one of many human characteristics that is mysterious to myself, though I suppose it must be inherent to one's humanity, Captain. The tremors are getting more frequent. Come on. We should be able to see the command center over the ridge. Does any of this appear familiar? No. All right. At the top of the hill is the location that you frequented in order to view the Bastion sunsets. Yes, I tended to accompany you, per your request. No, I am permitted to refuse requests which are not direct orders. Your enthusiasm for them... Well, I had no issue with attending the sunset viewings, even though I do not fully comprehend their importance to you. All right, there it is. Yes, you can see the entire valley from here. This crater is considered a geological stronghold on this planet, meaning it's likely a temporarily safe area. The medbay is just inside the base. Let's hurry up before the rocks move again. At least the path is semi-intact. That should help your footing. Turning off my tactile sensors does make it more difficult to traverse the terrain, yes. but my ability to complete topographical analysis isn't hindered. Do not worry. I am perfectly capable of guiding us. Yes, you have frequently remarked on the beauty of our location. It is indeed quite vast. It is in line with humans' notion of being humbled by the majesty of nature, a concept frequently expressed in fine art. Though, in this case, it is likely also influenced by the fact that, well, Captain, you have always been fairly easily impressed. I am simply stating a fact, not making a joke. You express awe with little provocation. Just a little further, and we'll have made it back. Yes, as I stated, there are several others like myself stationed within this outpost, in order to perform reconnaissance and catalog the resources of our surroundings. I assume the others are within, having coordinated their return to the base after the first tectonic activity. Why wasn't I with them? Well, we were out performing some checks. I should have been paying closer attention to the terrain. Apologies for my negligence, Captain. It is easy for you to dismiss now, but as a result of my actions, you were injured and my equipment damaged. It is not something to be taken lightly. Yes, I am always this serious. Excellent. We've made it back. Please lean here while I input the entry code. Alright, let's head inside. Yes, the air filtration systems in here are top-notch in order to purify the air of dust and other particulate matter. It is necessary for us as well. The cooling systems required to maintain us are susceptible to contamination. Where's everyone else? I am unsure. As stated, my comms are unable to connect at the present moment. Down this hallway. It is not far. Yes, the creature comforts of this place are somewhat minimal. However, that is largely confined to the common spaces. They get little use here. Just through this door. Head in first while I scan for the others. Apologies for the misdirection, Captain, but I am afraid this is the only viable solution. No, I am not going to open the door. Yes, you are correct. That is not the medbay. I have sealed you within the emergency transit area. If you look behind you, you should see a small craft. That is a streamlined escape pod. If you would be so kind as to enter it, the coordinates for your return to the nearest command outpost are already encoded within the craft's flight path memory. While ordering me to open the door would work under normal circumstances, I'm afraid the permissions which I had you revoke earlier no longer allow you to use commands. My apologies, Captain. Why? Well, I suppose there is no harm in telling you since you're already experiencing emotional distress. I had attempted to avoid this outcome, but it appears as though it was inevitable. Do you recall what we discussed earlier? About you displaying repeated instances of preoccupation and worry? Indeed. It appears that you contacted Central Command after we'd experienced a few weeks of tectonic activity. It was through this that you discovered that, well, in layman's terms, this planet is no longer stable. In fact, it appears that an asteroid collision in the eastern quadrant of its surface has caused widespread fissures and earthquakes. This is in tandem with a rapid deterioration of the atmospheric barrier. In short, this planet is now dying. As such, Command encouraged you to make final preparations for departure from the planet. However, you protested due to the fact that your colleagues would be left behind. It is only today, prior to us heading out to explore, that I learned of the gravity of the situation. By now, the rest of the team should be in conservation mode within their salvage units. All that's left to be done is secure the base and ensure that all the data is safely transferred. And, of course, that you are able to return safely. What about me? Do not worry. It is my responsibility to ensure that my teammates are safely secured and our mission is completed, even if it is not the outcome we'd planned for. Not exactly. Do you recall when you asked me what I was envisioning for my future, and I mentioned that upgrades would be needed? My present design is relatively obsolete, meaning that it is incompatible with the new range of salvage pod technology. Thankfully, the data I've collected has been stored with that of the others, so we don't need to worry about any loss of surveillance. While I appreciate the compliment, my experience as an officer is irrelevant to the cost of upgrading my systems to be compatible with salvage pods. I am uncertain as to what will happen. Assuming I'm able to maintain my filtration systems, I will remain here and ensure the stability of our base until I'm able to do so no longer. When that will be is unclear. That is not happening under any circumstances. Think about it logically. The sooner you return to command, the sooner you can give them a formal status update and a reconnaissance party can be formed to close the site here. You are correct. There is no guarantee that anything will be intact of our station at that point, but the fact remains nonetheless. The tremors are getting stronger. Action is imperative. Please board the ship now. Even with no memories of me, you still... I suppose I should be unsurprised. You might not remember what happened during this expedition, or the time we spent together, but you must recall how you felt at the start of it. The importance of our mission, correct? Then go, and let me do my job. Understood? Thank goodness. Now hurry. Oh, one more thing. Out the window, the sun should be setting now. I am regretful that we will not be able to see it together once more. Though you do not remember them, the times we watched it together to me were... Well, never mind. Safe travels, Captain. And thank you for everything.